Okay, thank you very much. So we'll do a workshop now. It's not going to be exactly mime, but physical acting. And what I try to do, and what I tried to do with my students previously at the university where I was teaching, is incorporate nonverbal communication in acting. I finished my bachelor's degree here in Belgrade at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts, and we did not talk about nonverbal communication, interestingly. We did all of the physical work. We had all the classes of stage movement and classical dance and modern dance and stage combat and acrobatics. Well, 20,
Marko,
25 years ago, I
Marko,
could do.
maybe later need translation. Don't you think so?
No, everything is okay. Don't worry.
It's okay?
Okay, don't worry, Atsushi. I'm in contact with Shanghai, so they're fine. Don't worry. So as I said, I did all of that, and some 25, 30 years ago, I could do even a salto mortale backwards, etc., etc. But we never actually spoke about non-verbal communication. And actors, when they come to stage, any performer, when he or she comes to stage, we see the entire body. We concentrate on their faces. We concentrate on their movement, not only what we hear if it is a spoken theater. That's in dance, that's in mime, in classical theater, in clowns, in circuses, everywhere. So the first thing that we see, if we are able to see, of course, is the body. And the body is talking to us. So just like when you go to a meeting or to a casting for a role in film or in theater, the first thing that a casting director or a director or your fellow actor sees is your body. So if you come in the office for a work interview or anything else, the first thing that a person will be seeing is your body. So it's really, and it's talking, the body is talking. So what do you think about a person who came for an work interview or a casting for a film, if that person comes in like this? What do you think of that person? Yeah. Or another person that comes in like this. So it's very different. We're talking about life. We're not really talking about theater, but the same thing is on stage. Me, as a person in the audience, I'm watching the actor coming into the stage, and at the same time, I'm watching the character that actor is playing coming on the stage. So it's very different. I know from experience, from all around the world. I was fortunate enough not to act only in Serbia, but also in France and in the United States a little bit, and in I don't know, in Edinburgh at the festival, or in Germany, etc. But usually what actors do, because they are nervous before entering the stage, you know, they want to relax and they exhale. So they go like to relax. But look what happens with my spine, with my back. And for anything that we do, we need an impulse. So we need that provokes the movement. And the simplest impulse is the breath, to inhale. That way we inhale oxygen. Oxygen helps transform sugar in our blood into energy, and that energy goes into our muscles. So instead of going before entering the stage, the best way is to do and we go. So whatever we do in our lives, enter a meeting to talk about business, or enter the stage, or want to impress a lady, a woman, a young girl. What we have to do is inhale and go for it, and don't stop. That way, that's probably the best way also, and the simplest way also, to get rid of the nervousness that we usually have. Small, being a little nervous or a lot nervous before entering the stage is normal. But what helps is the oxygen, and we need the oxygen. How do we get it? By inhaling, not exhaling. So again, I tend to repeat this as many times as possible. To remember it is, and we go. Plus, what it does, inhalation, it brings up our back. We are not like this, like croissant or bread or whatever. No, we are proud actors entering the stage, whatever our character is. And we have the energy to enter, because probably the entrance is one of the most important things. The stage entrance is one of the most important things when we do a theater play. Well, people have to know that we have entered. And try to remember, when you were watching different theater shows, even if an actor comes in backstage and has a really small role, but if he has that, or she, that presence, you can see him or her. It doesn't matter how big of a role you're playing, people can see you. And the way you're entering the stage is something that will grab their focus and put it on you. So we inhale and we enter. But before all of that, we have to do some practice, okay? So in a nonverbal communication, I don't know, in Serbian language, we say that the eyes are the mirror of our soul. I don't know, I guess that's something similar exists in all the languages in the world. If the eyes are the mirror of our soul, what is our face? Our face is the screen for our emotions. But when we wake up in the morning, our face is still asleep. And our face is made of muscles. And those muscles have to do some exercise so that we would be able to control them. So that we would be able to control our facial expressions. So I suggest every morning, 24/7, not 24/7, but every morning for a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, 365 days a year, do some facial exercise. Plus, for women, it's really good because you won't be needing those, creams that you put, around your eyes. The smaller the package, the higher the price. Like that. So you can exercise. Let's do as much as possible facial expressions in 1 minute. So let's go. You can give me a close-up. Felipe, give me a close-up, like this. Yes. That's for every day. If you're an actor or maybe just a technician, you have to work on your facial expressions. Don't move what's the name of this? Chin, left and right, because you could stay like this. So up and down is okay, left and right, no. So let's do it again. Okay, now let's work on our cheeks. You will see during this workshop, I almost never exclude voice while working. It doesn't mean that it will be there on stage. It really depends on the genre of the show or the style of the show. Sometimes we use voice, sometimes we use words. I'm an actor, not really a mime artist that much. It's in this country, it's difficult to do mime. There is no that much interest. But nevertheless, these exercises will also help you speak better in a more clear way and clear voice. So again, yes, very good. And now let's do some exercise with our lips. We put our upper lip over our teeth and then bring it up again. We can do this sitting down or even driving a car. And can you imagine it when you get up in the morning, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning because you have a show at 10, a show for children? You have to be ready and you have to be prepped. And all of your muscles, just like a football player or a soccer player or a basketball player, any kind of sportsman, have to be warmed up. Warmed up, that means facial muscles as well. So, there's another one also. This one is really romantic, you know. You go into a kiss, and then you go into a wide smile like this. And if you try to speak, you can say your alphabet, for instance. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So you see, even the pronunciation is much better, and it's technically correct, which is really important for a speaking actor. Okay, let's stick a little bit to talking. There's we all heard about Demosthenes, a very famous Greek speaker and a philosopher. And well, he stuttered, and he also he had problems with his speech. So he was practicing. He was putting small stones underneath his tongue. We won't be doing that nowadays because dentists are really expensive. So what we can do is use our own tongue. We stick out our tongue and we try to talk and we try to pronounce as best as possible, especially using our upper lip. So our upper lip has a problem nowadays because we are eating very soft food. So we don't bite and chew. You see how upper lip is working when we chew things, but we don't do that anymore. We go for a hamburger and we go like, and that's it. It's like plastic. So we have to move our upper lip to pronounce better. And if we don't move our upper lip, it's not only a problem of pronunciation, but also of losing a certain range of our higher tones in our voice. So if we speak like this with our upper lip, it's like a sponge. It takes most of our higher tones from our voice. But if we use our upper lip, then we can speak better, of course. So what do? We stick out our tongue. One more thing, because of all the nervousness nowadays and everything that is happening, all the stress comes also into our tongue, and our tongue tends to go back, to go down in our throat, just to hide from all the stress. And that's why also we don't pronounce well. So we stick out our tongue and we go like I, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Then we put all of the previous exercises together with the tongue and the speech. We do them 3 minutes a day, every day, and we will be ready for communication. And what is theater or television or film but communication? Communication between the actor and the audience. So we have to be technically correct. So let's try and do this all together, all the exercises, the facial expressions and the tongue and the ABCDs. So, and we inhale, really important. And this is a perfect exercise to do with your children, if you have children, or with a neighbor's children, or you can rent a child. So you just do that. You can do that exercise. It's perfect for playing, and it's great time spent with your child. And children today also are under a lot of stress. So this is really good. Okay, let's move on. We are moving on to our neck. That's the next thing. Okay, we did this also yesterday. We say yes or we say no. It's really simple. But try to do it. Any movement that you're doing, try to do it in 3 dimensions. So instead of what happens really, and try to do it precisely, even a simple movement like moving the head. That's basic, very simple. We think we all know it, but actually we don't do it precisely. So if we're moving left to right, let's keep it left to right. So don't incline the head. Don't do this. Try always to be precise, because the precision will then be in all of your movements. The body will learn, and the way of thinking, your mind will learn to be precise in your movements. So, yes. Well, in some countries, this is yes, and the other thing is no, but that's okay. Or maybe. Isključi mikrofon, možda isključiš mikrofon njihov. Okay, that's it. And now, so we did the 3 movements with our head, and there's a 4th one, which is the most complicated, and it's actually made of the 3. So what we try to do also, use the complicated movements in the beginning and try to divide them into more simple movements, and also the movements that are keeping us secure. That means that we won't be hurting ourselves. So this is the first one, the second one, this is more complicated, and this one can be really dangerous, you know. And at the end we have the whole circle. But open your eyes. An actor on stage has to know in every second where he is and what's above him. If there are lights above him, maybe some of the lights will come down. You never know. Accidents happen. Okay, now we move to our shoulders. What can we do? Yes, and backwards. Yes, but then we can try and do this. One shoulder goes up, the other one goes down. Both of them go forward. Oh, this is a good massage. Oh, and this is just a warm-up. Yes, it feels good. I can't see really what you're doing, but I guess we have arrived to certain problems already. Okay, we extend our hands, and then we go this. Okay. And the other way around. And I call this a chewing gum for the brain. That's a translation from Serbian, so it's not really in the spirit of English language. One up, one down. The one that is up will be going down, and the one that is down will be going up. So, talking or singing while doing exercises, it's really good, even if you're a mime artist, because it opens your throat. It liberates your throat and your breath. You can start breathing normally and using your lungs, and that's really important. Okay, next one is simple like this. This is from Turkish dance, yeah. And okay, and now we massage our fingers, try to make them longer. Our fingers and our hands are really important. Oh, this is anti-COVID commercial. Wash your hands, 20 seconds at least. Everybody was doing that online since February or March. Okay, now, oh, this is fun. Nose, ear, back of the head, oh, up. And down to the side, and comes back to the nose. This is just a small warm-up, and then we will move on to building a character, a body of character, or character body. Well, actually both. Let's try the other hand. Nose, ear, back of the head, up. Comes down to the side, back to the nose. Okay, and now we actually are coming to the real exercise with both hands. So while this one is up, this one is at the nose. While this one is going to the back of the head, the other one is coming down, and they both move up. Up, up, and we can do it a bit faster. Oh, Tamara is working out behind the camera. Or we can do it really fast, or we can then slow down. This is an abstract movement that can be used on stage also. Why not? Every movement from any exercise can be used on stage. You never know when you will be needing it. So practice, 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 practice. Good. Oh, perfect. Okay, and now this exercise is from kindergarten. We will be picking apples. We pick apples, but it's really good for the spine. So I'll turn like this, and we move downward. Now we're picking peaches and maybe grapes, but you see, it has to be flat, flat. You can put on a bottle of beer on my back. Oh, there you go, and down, and down, and down, and down. Flat, flat, and stretch the back, stretch the back, stretch the back. I sound like Jane Fonda. And kick, and kick, and kick, and no, just kidding, sorry. That was aerobic, Jane Fonda. So we are down, then we move to the left or to the right, whichever you prefer. We'll be going to the other side as well. Now we will be inhaling air with our hand together. Hold it, so we stretch these muscles here, and exhale, we go to the other side. Oh, the back is really important. The spine is important. The spine is holding the whole body together. And we move up for some, I don't know, 20 centimeters or so. And again. Well, as much as it is important to move, it is also important to know how to hold it, and not only to hold the breath, but to breathe through the pose that we have. So, and we keep it. We are still on stage. We are still a part of the show. We cannot just relax in this position, but any kind of position, no matter how stupid it is. And a little bit of classical ballet. And to the other side. We do it through plie, and we're back. Now we have stretched our spine, so there is more space between our vertebrae. So it's not that dangerous anymore to turn them. So we keep our hips parallel forward. We put our hands up and we move. We turn, and slowly we bring our hands down. That way we move up our spine. Simple exercise, nothing special, can be done everywhere or anywhere, even while you're waiting for the bus or the metro. We don't have a metro or subway, but yes, now relax, relax, relax. Okay, we're already moving to our hips. So, hop, and we turn our hips. This is a good exercise to do in a disco. And the other way around. And this is just a warm-up. Okay. Put your feet together. We do the same thing. Try not to move the shoulders, just the hips. So we are working on our lower spine. It looks like a stupid exercise, but actually any exercise is a good exercise. Whatever you remember from your school days or days at the university or studying mime or acting or anything else, do them every day, a little bit. 5 minutes, that's fine. Okay, now, concentration. Well, this is an exercise also not only for the balance, but for your eyes, because if you move your eyes too much, you will be losing your balance. Because whenever you move your eyes, there's a slight movement in your head, so you lose balance. Open. Relax the shoulders. And we're back. Oh, this is good for the muscles too. These ones. Concentration. We have been having fun since the beginning of this workshop, I hope. But we also have to concentrate. Comedy is a serious business. I'm sure that all the comedians around the world would agree with me. Making other people laugh, it's something really serious. And it takes a lot of work. Okay. The next exercise is not really good for your knees, but I know that skiers are doing it all the time, so let's just do it a little bit. Oh, and round and round and round. It's not really good because, you know, knees are meant to do only this, not to go all around. But okay. And let's relax in this position. Sorry. Don't be too gentle on yourself. This is good for circulation. And when you go up, you go vertebra by vertebra, so the head is the last one to come up. Don't go like this. It's dangerous. This is not so dangerous. Okay? Perfect. Oh, and now the feet. Turn and turn. This is also not so good, but people do it. And it's actually good for your toes. And the other one. And now, let's put all our weight to one leg, one foot. Turn and turn, and turn and turn. Because mime is usually happening on one leg all the time. Switching legs, of course, just like classical ballet. And the other one. And this is just a warm-up, a small warm-up. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready now, warmed up, to do a little bit of character. So, what we need for a character is one thing that we can, through which we catch the character. The word pantomime is interesting because it comes from Greek, pantos and mimos. Pantos meaning everything, everything that surrounds us, the world, and us in it. And mimos is mimicry, imitating. So pantomime, in that sense, is the imitation of the world. So a mime artist actually imitates the world. But what is also interesting is that process of imitating is actually the first way of learning things. So a young child, a baby, or a cub, a young of a dog, a puppy, learns by imitating the adults in their family and in their surroundings. That's one thing. The other thing is playing. You know, animals, cubs, puppies, they learn to hunt, they learn to survive through a play. They're actually playing with the adults and among themselves. That's how they learn. So actually pantomime, mime art is not only the first storyteller of the world, but it's also, mime is also the first way of transferring knowledge. So that's why I think personally that mime needs to be recognized as an important and autonomous art, and probably the first art, or the pre-art, whatever we want to call it. So, while we are sitting in a cafe, drinking our coffee, or, well, here in Serbia we drink Serbian coffee or Turkish coffee, which is very strong, and we drink it from small cups. In the United States, you drink like a half a liter of coffee. I don't know how you survive with half a liter of coffee, but good for you. Okay, I don't know, in China you drink tea. Perfect. So you sit down in a cafe, you drink a coffee or your tea or water, and what do we do nowadays? We usually take out our phone and we have something really important to do on our phone. So the world is passing by, everything is happening, and we are not there to witness it because we are in our phone. We're trying to enter our phone. Don't do that, please. I'm talking especially to young people there, students. Watch the world. You will learn everything by watching, at least watching, not from Google or Baidu or whatever else. No, 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 it's not there. It's around you. So when we're watching, we're also learning at the same time. And when we're watching other people, we also tend to do a very small, even if we're not conscious of that, we do very small imitations. Like we see a person doing that and we go like, mm-hmm. Okay. Or we see a person that goes like, and we go, So we tend to imitate. So, and that's good. That's perfect. Now, let's find, when actors do imitations, and when people do imitations of other people, no matter if they're professionals or not, what they actually do is they find one characteristic of that person that they find funny or serious or bizarre or whatever, and that's what they actually expose. So imitation is not a copy of another person. That's not fun to do. Anybody can do it, but why? We already have that person. Why copy that person? There's really not even an artistic reason to do it. But what we do, we actually capture either the sound or the word, the pronunciation, or the body movement, which is interesting for us, of a person. So we pick up one thing and we exaggerate, we make it even bigger. So we go from something that is very natural to something that is very, very, very expressive. So what do? We actually move through theater genres. We move through genres from naturalistic, very filmish, cinematic, to something that is very theatrical, like and very exaggerated, like commedia dell'arte or vaudeville or burlesque. Or some of the terms that I'm using are not the same in all cultures. So burlesque and vaudeville have, I guess, a different meaning in Anglo-Saxon culture, just like expressions mime and pantomime. In my country, in my language, in my culture, we don't have a word mime, but we use the word pantomime. So don't catch me for each phrase that I say, because it's probably not the same in all cultures. But a little bit of expression, very naturalistic, very small, and something really big on the other side, and the whole variety of genres in between. So we can use any part of our body, and we can use any movement. Let's try simple things with our feet, for instance. And this is a good exercise also for our muscles. Filipe, možda zoomiraš malo dole? Jeste. So we normally stand like this, and that's fine. But there are people that tend to stand like this. So their weight is more here. It's not equally balanced on the feet, but actually is on the sides of the feet. Yeah. But if we make it bigger, it will become a caricature, and we can walk like this. It's like cowboys. But then here we have to think about mechanics and psychology. Why is this person walking like this? Was this person ill? Does that person have certain physical problems with their back? How that influences the psychology of that person? Is that person maybe mean to other people or not? I don't know. Think about it. That's already an analysis, psychological analysis of a character. And we are doing it through our body and through one simple thing, the position of our feet. Now let's make it bigger, and let's add the other parts of our body to this walk. So this would be naturalistic. I'm still walking with disbalanced feet, with all the weight on the sides of my feet. Now I'm making it bigger. Yep. And now I will start adding the other parts of my body. So be creative. Let's see. Is this maybe Richard III? I don't know. So you see, you make it bigger. You add, think of the psychology of this person, even if this is too big, if this is a caricature of this person, of this character. Now, let's keep the body, all parts, everything that we did and added, and make it smaller. And keep the rhythm. You see how we came to another important thing through our body movement, the rhythm. So it's the same rhythm. Listen. Same rhythm, same rhythm. So, what kind of person is that? How does that person feel? What is the voice of that person? How does that person breathe? Let's see. And don't copy others around you. Don't copy me. Think of your own. Listen to your body. Think. You know, we are building stories and building characters as actors through our own experience. I do not agree with our colleagues that say, when I finish my theater show, I take off my character, leave it at the theater, and go home. Not that easy, right? I also do not agree with colleagues that say, I do not act at home. That's just not true. I mean, we're all acting everywhere. Being an actor or not being an actor, we're always trying to be somebody else, even in our lives. And we also tend to change our characters depending on the situation. So we are all actors and we act all the time, and that's okay. It's not necessary to lie to each other. It's okay. It's just as it is in nature, so it's fine. So think of what is the voice of the character that we just made. And you saw by making movement and voice and breathing bigger, we actually moved through different genres. And this is a great exercise. It's fun to do with students. It's fun to do on your own when for instance, you are locked in at your home because there is a pandemic outside. It's fun. Okay, let's try another thing. Same thing, but another position of the feet. Okay, let's try this. You know people that walk like this. I mean, okay, this is too big. This is a caricature, but people that are walking with their feet inside. Okay, let's go. Very natural, very small. So what is the length of the step of a person that is walking like this? Think about that also. How that length influences the psychology. Because, for instance, you have people that are walking with very long steps, as if they're trying to grab the future. Also, it depends on the leaning of the upper part of the body. You have people, you know, long steps means that your head is, because head, well, the head and the are the heaviest parts of your body. So head is heavy. If you put your head forward, you have to make long steps. Otherwise, you will fall down. Plain mechanics. So usually people that are watching, looking down, you know, are trying to run into the future. Why? What kind of person is that? What is the psychology of that person? Is that person running away from something, from its past? Think about that. No, you know, you have a lot of running away from the past in Chekhov, for instance. It's all about the past, not the future. Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. Yeah. Or is that person just trying to keep up with his own or her own thoughts because the thoughts are moving? And it's a simple movement. Just put your head in front of you and lean. Or you have people that are being pulled back by their past, so they lean backward. Yeah. Can you walk really quickly like this? Yeah, but if you have really short steps. So what kind of person has a short step? Is that person nervous? What kind of decisions will that person make? Hectic, hasty, proper decisions, not proper decision, thought about what is going to happen or not before making a decision. And what you can do is also, when you watch this from a cafe drinking coffee, you will see people like this in streets. It's a great exercise to sit down, drink coffee, leave your phone in your bag or in your pocket, and watch people and try to imagine their life stories. It's a great exercise, not only for actors, but for communicators in general. That way, you practice your senses, you train your senses. Is your story about that person true or not? Well, it is, because there is only one truth, my truth. I don't care about your truth. I don't care about the objective truth that doesn't exist. The only truth that exists is my truth, and your truth, and Tamara's truth, and Philip's truth. Philip is behind the camera. By the way, he's my son. Okay. So that's, and do we have truth in theater? Are we in search of truth in theater? I know that's a phrase that everybody is using, but I'm not that sure. I mean, we're actually in search of really good manipulation in our lives, and I guess the best manipulation is in theater and film and television. So yeah, we actually are manipulating our own feelings and movements so that we would be even better manipulator of your feelings and your thoughts and your movements. I know it sounds awful, but I really think it's the truth. And if we're really good, then it's like the high intelligence and madness that are really close to each other. And it's a very thin line between genius and mad person. You know, it's a really thin line. So I also think it's a really thin line between extraordinary manipulation and truth. It's a really thin line. But let's go back to the character. So we said it's this. Feet inside. Don't forget one important thing. Human body is made to move, not to sit in the office, or to move and to sleep, to lay down. Sitting is probably the worst position for a human body, for the hips, for the spine, for everything. It's destroying us. Sitting is destroying us. So don't sit, do exercise. Okay, feet like this. And we walk again. Very simple. Very small. Naturalistic. This is a person that you can see in a bus, on a street, in the street, in a cafe, in a cinema, theater. Now we make it bigger. And we make a caricature. Yeah, why not? And of course, Always work with your voice. You need your voice, even though if you're a mime artist and you don't speak and don't use your voice on stage when you're doing mime, do it in a work process. It's a good thing because it helps you breathe. It helps you analyze the character. Voice is really important, even though the movement came first and the voice came later. Language, oh, much, much later. So, can you imagine a person like this entering the bus? Sorry, I tend to go to horror genre. Yeah. No, just kidding. Yeah, but it's all about psychology. Even our body is about psychology. And this workshop is actually teaching us that there are two ways of dealing with character. One, from the inside out, and the other one, which we're doing today, is from the outside in. Both are okay. Even, it's good to use both at the same time. I believe in, I sincerely believe in integrated approach, we can call it that way. I believe that all the techniques, all the teachers, all the schools are good because their motive is to help the others. So Marcel Marceau, Etienne Decroux, Jean-Louis Barrault, all French, Tomaszewski from Poland, Grotowski from Poland, and all the others, they were doing things to help themselves. Alexander technique, I believe Australia. They have been all doing things to help themselves move forward, become better. And apparently they had some leadership skills and some good energy, and they believed in all of that. So other people started watching them and asked to work with them. So they started acquiring their knowledge so that they would be able to help themselves. So actually those teachers, those persons became teachers like Marceau, like Decroux, like Alexander, like Michael Chekhov, Stanislavski. So they were sharing knowledge, and that's really important. Acting, mime, theater, it's really all about sharing. It's about giving and not asking anything in return. Perhaps at the end of the play, we will get an applause, or maybe not. We don't know in advance. We can't know in advance. So it's about sharing. So they were sharing, and they had a good motive. They wanted to help other people because they found a way to help themselves. So perhaps you are the new Grotowski. You are the new Stanislavski. Share it and you will see. If you helped yourself, you're probably able to help other persons also. And there will probably in this world be a few persons that feel good when they do what you're doing. So all the techniques, all the schools, all the exercises are good if they don't injure you, of course. But they're good, and respect them. That's what we try to do also in the World Mime Organization. Respect everybody and all the schools, all the techniques, all the teachings, because the motive of all of them is simple: help the others, share. So that's fine. Okay, let's go back to the character. Now, we were doing this with our feet. We can do that with our chest, for instance. Why not? Or a shoulder, or a facial expression. What if we have a person that is laughing all the time like this? It has a mask, almost a mask, yes. What kind of body has a person like this? Yeah. And it really depends how that person laughs. So let me leave my glasses here. So there's a tension here, you see? Now there's a tension in my neck also. And when I laugh like this, there's a tension in my chin also, and in these muscles here, so I cannot open my mouth that much. So it seems as if this person is not really laughing, but it's actually frustrated, right? So this is like a mechanism, you know, to safeguard the personality of that person, you know. That person doesn't let anybody in. Do you think that that person would be open and use gestures like this? You see? Nonverbal communication, we're coming back to the nonverbal communication. A hug, an open gesture, a chest that you can see means that person is open and is risking, because the heart is here and the whole bust are there open for you. Or do you think that this person would stand like this? Yes, guarding their heart so that they wouldn't be hurt, physically hurt, but also emotionally hurt. You see how all the things are connected? Watch people in a cafe, watch people in streets. You will see all of these things happening. And I don't know why, but I was not learning that in my school. I was not learning that even in Marceau's school. Nobody talked about nonverbal communication. There's a lot of books, a lot of literature about nonverbal communication. Read it. It's so useful. It will help you analyze the character, but also you will see where mime came from. It actually came from nonverbal communication. I will give you an example. When we try to say something really fine, really precise, we tend to use this gesture. So when I'm trying to be really precise about something, I tend to use this gesture. And that's nonverbal communication. So what do you think? What is the finest tool that humans invented? Well, it's a needle. And a needle is a very, very, very fine tool, very precise tool. So this is how we hold a needle. And now look at this. Okay, this is naturalistic. You can see this in everyday life. You can see this in film. You can see this in meetings when somebody's trying to speak and say, okay, so, you know, our business, the product that we have is so tiny and so fine and so precise. You see, here it is. But in mime, we have to stylize a little bit so that, for instance, a person in the 30th row in theater would see this gesture. So we add, hop, the 3 fingers. So it's the same gesture, but stylized. So you see, mime is actually nonverbal communication. That's where it was born from. You see, so we use this gesture. You were doing this morning a little bit with Elena Serra. You see, there's a gesture. What can we do with this? We hold a needle, we hold a pen, we hold a flower. This is a butterfly. So this is Marceau. There it is. And in mime, because of the stylization, that comes also is influenced a lot by classical ballet. We tend to do bigger gestures and round gestures. I usually say to my students, like hugging a barrel. So the hands would be round because it's more beautiful. I know that Marceau was telling us always in his classes that for him and for especially for the crew, Rodin, Auguste Rodin, his sculptures were like an ideal for them, for the human body, how they perceived human body and the movement of human body. Auguste Rodin. There's a very nice museum in Paris. So if you ever go there, visit that museum. It's really important for mime. So round, you see, and this. What can we do with this? We can hold a pen. take a piece of paper and write. So you see how we jumped from very naturalistic ways of doing things and interpreting nonverbal communication into something that is really stylized in mime and style in for instance this Marceau's style or technique. So here we are, and this is 19th century. They didn't have pens like we do today or ball pens. They wrote with a feather, so we still use it. Yes. And we can think about what we are writing, right? So we think about our past. You see, the same thing happens with a person that is being pulled by its past, so psychologically pulled by its past. You see how that person goes? You see how I am stylizing the thing, thinking about the past, backwards, or forwards, thinking about the future. So you see the character we were talking about half an hour ago, the one that is going, running into the future, can't wait to get there. You see, and I'm thinking forward, thinking into the future. Mine is only a technique or a style without the character. The psychology of character does not really depend on the genre. The psychology is always the same. The way how we present the psychology, present the character, is depending on the genre. But the basic psychology is the same. The basic character analysis is the same. The basic analysis, for instance, when I'm working on a mime piece, I haven't been doing that for a long time. But when I'm working on mime piece, I'm talking all the time, like I'm talking with you today. I'm talking about what I'm doing and how my character is feeling. And will I come here, pick up something? Or the other thing that is really important is the balance. The balance or disbalance of your character. Psychological, emotional balance or disbalance, which we will also see reflected in the body. Think, is this character balanced? Remember I mentioned Richard III? Yeah. Even 500 years ago, 400 years ago, Shakespeare wrote about people like this. You know, tomorrow we will have an extraordinary presentation of body language in Peking opera. I can't wait to see that. It is one of the finest Chinese actors of Peking opera will be doing this with us and for us tomorrow. And the character that he's playing is the Monkey King. And that's the character in Peking opera that is closest to clowning and to clown, very, you know. You see that even in places that distant apart, like Europe and China, or the United States and China, we have very similar stories and dramaturgy and characters. We're all the same. We're people. And everything comes from here, from our psychology. So I'm always insisting on how psychology reflects on the body, but how also body reflects on psychology. Tell me, is a person with a shorter leg comfortable entering a room full of people? Think about it. How that influenced that person. Why was Richard III so mean? Think about his looks. How was that reflected on him when he was a child, or in his teens, when children are really mean and teenagers are really mean to each other? How that reflects later when he's 40 or 50, or she. And that's all in our bodies. And using mime, if I do this, this is a citation. But what is this? This is writing? Okay, in what century? In what situation? In what show? With what character? I can be doing this also as a character like this, right? So having a mime show where you do this, all of this neutral, I don't really have a story. I'm not really interested in watching that. It is a copy of a technique of somebody else. But if you put in your psychology and the character, that we always need a character. Stories are actually stories about people, about characters in different situations and how they react to those situations and to other people. So if I'm like this, okay, I can do the same technique, but now I have certain constraints in my body, in the body of that character, right? Okay, oh, there's no ink anymore. Oh, we shouldn't be doing that in this pandemic time, right? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's all about the people. And it's all about the flavor that we give to the certain technique and certain style of mime, or physical theater, or spoken theater, or videos for YouTube, or film, cinema. So I'm sorry if I was talking too much. Marceau was also saying very often, do not let mimes speak, because they can speak for days, because on stage they're always silent. I don't believe that mime is silent, and I sincerely hope that our voice as mime artists and actors will be heard around the world, especially in these difficult times. And I hope I didn't take much of your time and that you enjoyed what we were doing now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Does anybody has any questions? Any questions, thoughts to share? Sorry, I'll come here and, yeah.
Hi, Marko, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what I thought about is the transformation from one character to the other. You have divided this, stereotypically one character, another character. So if I would walk around the room and transform from one to the other, probably I could achieve the differences in my body, realizing the different postures.
Yes, I understand the question. Perfect question. It's a great exercise. It's a great exercise to jump from one character to the other. And that's why also, because it's really difficult for the actor to do that in an internal, the easiest way is to do it first physically, and then through your physicus, through your body, you will actually then transform also the psychology of your character. And for that, we need one thing to remember about the character, something that is really specific, one movement or gesture or position of part of the body. So if I take this character, so the core of my character, where I develop my character, is in my shoulder. That's why mime is, and physical theater, physical training is so important for speaking actors, for dancers, for opera singers. I've been working a lot with opera singers, teaching them how to act and how to do mime and stuff. That's why, because it helps things become easier and more precise. So for instance, this is the core of one of my characters. So when I do this, I will always remember to make the body like this, for instance.
Can we give, Marko, can we give specific titles to each character? So when you choose to, you say, let's say Quasimodo, then you say the prince, then you say this, and then you can jump from one to another continuously.
Absolutely. absolutely.
Yeah, perfect.
When I was learning acting at the university, my professor Bajcetic, he was one of the most famous professors here in Serbia for years and decades. We on the second year when we were doing characters in the second year, our midterm exam was 13 different characters, and we had to switch when he gave us the signal. So like hop and next character, hop and next character. So, I mean, that's why I was also telling about a story about the truth and manipulation. It's also the truth and manipulation of the actor himself, because you have to switch from character to character technically. It's impossible to switch psychologically in a minute. But if you do it with your body, and that's where mime and physical theater help, if you do it with your body, then the psychology will follow. So this is one, for instance. The other one is this. And the core of my character is in my feet and the position of my feet and how I use my balance. The next one can be in my hand, like this, for instance. And then I can switch from one, and then I have to adapt my voice also. We always use your voice and how that character breathes, you know. And then we switch to this one, or this one, and then I can go back to this one. You see, if you choose one thing, and that's also, it's not only about choice, it's about research. You have to research your character. You have to research the text. Analyze not only what is written, analyze the history of that text. Analyze the biography and the life of the writer, because they don't write from anywhere. They write, like everybody else, from their own experience. So we gather knowledge and experience, and the gaps that we have, we fill them with our imagination.
Marko, can we try shifting from one character to the other together with the guys in Shanghai? I would like to see that perhaps they can walk in a circle and
I don't see them.
we can see them. We can see them.
You can see them. I don't see
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So if you tell them Quasimodo, then you tell them light, then you tell them heavy, whatever you choose, categorize it. And
I won't do that. It's because every person, I was not showing so that people would imitate and do what I was doing, but it's their own characters. So we can switch, like, let's call it character number 1, character number 2, and character number 3. So
okay.
Number 1 in the chest. You can go with chest like this or with chest like this, whichever you prefer, or do whatever you want with the chest. That's number 1. Number 2, it's the feet. Do something with your feet. And number 3, it's the face. Do a facial expression. Yeah. Okay? So, and then adapt your body to it. So let's go. Character number 1. Walk, 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 and talk, and talk, and talk, and breathe, and breathe. And number 2. And number 3. And we go to number 2 again. And to number 3. 1, 3, 2. So you see, I didn't see what you were doing. I couldn't. But I guess when you choose only one thing in your body, one movement, or one position of one part of your body, it will help you switch. And it will help you even when you go outside, you know, when you meet the audience before or after the show, or when you sit down for a coffee with someone, and usually they say, oh, you're an actor. Yes, I am. Can you tell us something funny, or can you recite a poem, or oh, I loved your character in that show. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Because you have that core of the character. That's what we can call it, the core of the character. Thank you for a question, Offer.
Marko? Marko?
Yes?
As I observe both Shanghai screen and Marko's screen, and also other participants, the greatest difference are from my side seeing about where you see. or how strongly you see. So especially when you or the participant changing the characters. And I think in the very beginning, you explained a little bit about how important it is to see something. Maybe if you explain a little bit more about the change of the scene when you're changing the character, that can help the students' choice of their own characters.
Changing the scene.
No. Sight. How you see.
Sight.
Yeah, because the vision are somehow different, and I think that kind of thing, even we do the same room workshop, we can learn from the only seeing the facilitator. But I think now, because we separate the space, I think it's better to explain a little bit so that they can choose their own side.
Okay. So when we're sitting in a cafe, when we're or anywhere else and watching people, it is very natural to us to stick to one certain characteristic, to one point. We will see either the eyes or the whole body or the way that person moves, or we can even see how that person breathes if we are close enough, or even through the movement we can sense the breathing. So, and we will usually, and that's the basic part of imitation, we will usually catch that first thing. It's just like in nonverbal communication, where first impression is really important. It's the same thing in theater. First impression of the character, when the character comes out on the stage for the first time, it's really important. That's what will give you the whole, that will paint the whole impression of the whole audience about your character, and it will be moving the story forward or not. So yeah, it's all in detail. I know that usually people say that we do not care much for details, or that we have to move from something that is wider, larger, and then move towards details, but that's not true. What we are, when we are watching others, we see details. We see details, we feel details, and then if we have that kind of, I mean, everybody has it, but in some people it's more expressed. That I don't like using the word talent, but let's stick to it for now. So if you have that talent of observation, you will observe the detail. You will observe the detail, and then you will put it in your body. And then when you filter it through your body, you will understand the emotions and the psychology of that person that you were watching. It's rather simple, and it's rather natural for us. We are just not aware of that. And we as actors, mime artists, we have to be aware of all of that. And those are just parts of the working process that we go through. I don't know if I was clear enough. Any other questions?
Hi, Marko.
Yes.
Peter from Australia.
Hi, Pete.
Not necessarily a question, just thank you for, you went into this place, for me at least, observing, it was, you danced on the line of genius and madness, going through decades of knowledge learned, wisdom acquired. I'm so very grateful for you and your heart to share this with us. As you said, you are living this mantra, this philosophy of what we learn to help us, we share with others. So thank you from one artist to another. So masterful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pete. Thank you. Hvala.
Pete, can you imagine being a friend of him for 30 years between genius and madness? Now you understand why we are such friends.
God bless you both, brothers in mime.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Look, I'll be 50 on the 2nd of January, so when I'm getting closer to being even more mad. Can you say?
Oh, wait till you get there, my friend.
Okay, thank you very much.
I also have a question.
Yes.
Because you were talking about, actually, I'm an actress, and you were talking about, and this is what I really like a lot, this philosophy of giving and not expecting anything for that.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask if you have any advice, because it's like, you know, I'm an actress in Germany, and there is a lot of competition, and you can really feel like there are a lot of people, they want to see you fail. And I think it's something I disapprove of that and of such situations, but actually I often don't know how to handle it. Actually, because there's a lot of people with a lot of ego and a lot of it's really hard, actually.
Look, you are very young, so it comes with age and experience, building up your self-confidence. So it's all about thinking of yourself and not thinking of those people. There are people that are mean, and that's okay. The world would be very boring if we didn't have mean people. The theater would be boring if we didn't have mean characters. And if we didn't have mean people in the world, we wouldn't be having mean characters in theater or film. So it's simple as that. It's all about you and not about them and what they think of them. I will tell you just one simple thing. Usually among actors, there's a thing, you don't recommend other actors for a role if you think you can do that role, you know. And I was the same, but I don't know, 20 years, I'm in this business for 30 years now, or yeah, since I was 18 officially. It took me some time and experience. I did a lot of work in theater and on television, a little bit in film, not that much as I would prefer, but a lot of television, thousands of hours. And, you know, especially in television, they say, okay, don't, no, don't, you can do this. It says, I will do that instead of my friend. But look, if the director or a producer wanted me, they would take me. If they don't think that I fit the character in their vision, it's okay to recommend somebody else. There is always a role for you and only for you. There can be dozens of actresses coming to the casting, but they will pick you because that role was made for you. And it's simple as that. I know that there's always pushing others and being jealous, etc. But no, when you come to that point when you say, okay, yeah, okay, there are roles made for me, but maybe by working on myself, I can expand the spectrum of roles that could be made for me. That way I expand the possibility of getting hired to work in theater or television or film. Then you become calm. You come to a place where you are okay with yourself, and then your self-confidence boosts up, it explodes. Then you stop caring. And my simple advice is work on yourself. There is a role written for you and roles written for you, and stop caring about what other people say. I recommend a few days ago, they called me for a TV series here in Serbia for one huge private television with national broadcast offering me a role. And I said, but look, I'm just too young for that role, even though I'm almost 50. That was a role of a person that was 70. I mean, it was a historical character, so I read about that character and I read about the situation in the script and the age of that character when that story happened. And I found out that he was like 70. I don't look 70. I could, with a lot of makeup, I can do it. I know I can, but why? I mean, why not recommend another fellow actor and say, look, he's 70, he's a great actor, why don't you offer a role to him? And I did that. I said, look, I will be happy to do it, but I'm too young for that role, so think again. And they called me a few days later and they said, you're right, we will hire another actor who is 70, and that's fine. I'm in peace with myself. That's okay, because I know
Marko,
there are roles written for me.
can I add something to make you feel good, Judith? I mean, you used the word famous, and famous is a situation of popularity in a certain moment, in a certain time. Yes. Sometimes you can see a singer making the best song ever, and that's it. He was famous for 2 minutes. With the modern days now, with internet and everything, famous is just a temporary title, but continuous artistical work, even if the title is average, but sticking to what you love makes you big and famous. It doesn't mean you're gonna do the biggest TV shows, movies, and theaters, but you will be famous because you will be continuous. You will be there on the map, not for a second, but for a very long time. And in order to establish your position, you have to keep going and going. Now, for every 100 auditions, there'll be 1 yes, and there'll be 99 no's. You know, it doesn't matter if somebody pushed you aside, if there is an ego fight, let that all go. Look at it from the side and say, oh, they're into the ego stuff. They're into the being nasty. I'm not there. I'm coming for my art, for who I am. Feel comfortable with yourself. And for every 99 no's, the next one will be a yes. And that's it.
Yeah, well, yes, and I can't agree with all of what you said. Being famous is something really different. I experienced that here in my country for a while, and I know how it is not to be, and then not to be again, and then to be again, etc., etc. So that's different. That's about how, well, it comes to math. It comes to how many people know you and recognize you, and then the next step is if they appreciate you or not, if they remember you in a good way or not. But that's something else. Being steady and continuous, as you said, is actually doing all the work on yourself. Of course, you will have periods where you lie down and you're depressed and you don't want to do anything. For me, what works is when I'm in that kind of mood, okay, I do it for a couple of days, but then I get up and I fix all the stuff in my home. So I wash the dishes, I wash the laundry. So I try to make physically the space that I'm in proper. And then I start working on my body. So exercise, even though I'm not good in my head with my feelings, I start working on my body. And then exercise changes your chemistry. So that's why also mime, physical theater, sports are so good for your body. And never forget, even if you do sports or go to the gym, never forget to breathe and to use your voice. That's the catch. That's what we usually forget. And of course, if we are mimes, we think of mime, especially young mime actors think of mime as of a silent art, and they read in books and history books, etc., etc. But no, in your working process, you can do whatever you want to. You can speak, you can shout, you can sing while doing mime, or searching for a movement in your body, searching for that, or searching for the rhythm, for the pace, for the energy of the movement, for the impulse of the movement that you want. It's not the movement that you are looking for, it's the impulse that you need, then the movement will follow. So yeah.
Marko, we have a question from one of the students in Shanghai. So wrote Rachel. Let's see if we can hear her.
Yeah. No.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Marko?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, one of the students here in Shanghai has a question for Marko. It is that he is doing some research and trying to do exploration in the field of ventriloquize. That means that using your voice to imitate all sorts of sounds in life. And he wants to combine this art form with mime. Do you have the same practice in the West?
No, ventriloquism. No, I didn't. I never tried that. Of course, play from time to time at home. I'm trying to do this, but I'm an actor. I'm a speaking actor. So my basic training is in speaking theater and singing theater. I was doing musicals, etc., etc. So I have a trained voice. But that's a very interesting and creative idea. Do it. I don't know anything about ventriloquism, but combining that with mime can really be interesting. It is absolutely not the same example that I will give now, but I don't know if she's here now, but yesterday she was, Anna Verbashki from Serbia.
Yeah, this is
she and her husband are doing body percussion, so they're making music by tapping their body. And they were taking lessons of mime from me because they wanted to combine mime and body percussion. Also very interesting thing. And I sincerely believe that because mime is the first art and the first way of expression and storytelling, I believe that that's one of the reasons that you can put mime or bits and pieces and principles of mime and body expression in any other art. And that's why I think also that suddenly in these modern times, mime kind of lost its independence and became part of other things. But I'm sure that all of us together will put mime back on the map as the independent art.